problems like love, blackmailing, and even terrorist organizations like Al-Qaeda and ISIS use social media to spread their propaganda and also polarize people. Mr. Speaker, sir, recent trends show that more than half of US employers are blocking social media access at the workplace. A variety of fears have led to the restriction led by certain leaders time spent on Facebook or Twitter is productivity the company will never get there. By implementing a complete block of social media, leaders and managers are able to rest easy, securing the knowledge that their employers are spending their time doing the work for which they are being paid. Some of the mental and physical issues that may be created after we expose to social media includes people comparing their lives with others who project their life as perfect. This decreases happiness level and also can lead to self-esteem issues. High screen times create many health problems like back issues, eyesight-related problems, etc. and also can lead to cyberbullying, social anxiety, depression, and exposure to content that is not age appropriate. Social network users prefer online conversation rather than face-to-face. This can affect communication skills, relationships, and many more. Lastly, as a conclusion, internet has a lot of things going on back the screen. We generally don't see the disadvantages and never realize them until it's too late. So the motion of the House should not be passed at any cost. Thank you.
Now, I would like to call out Cadet Atawa of Raman House.
Mr. Speaker, sir, for me, I'm very hands-on about social media. That's my voice. Speaker, sir, respected jury, my teachers, my fellow men, and all my brothers and sisters. Good afternoon to one and all present over here. I'm Cadet Akoiza Matoko Singh of Raman House, and I take this opportunity to present my view for the motion of the House, that is, social networking site is approved. Well, Mr. Speaker, sir, fortunately or unfortunately, the leader of the opposition bench has not proclaimed to hinder the motion in any way, and that itself proves that they themselves do not believe in the strength of their own points and had instead opted for the motion to be passed. Mr. Speaker, sir, my fellow members of the Treasury bench has already presented a lot of good points for this particular motion. Now, in addition to those, I would like to give some points of my own. First, social media spreads information faster than any other media. 78.5% of traditional media reporters poll use social media to check breaking news. 58% of Twitter users and 31% of Facebook users follow breaking news on these sites. Second, law enforcement uses social media to catch and prosecute criminals. Social media helps solve crime more quickly. And third, social media helps empower businesswomen. Being able to connect on the social networking sites give businesswomen or support group not readily found offline, where female CEOs of Fortune 500 companies are outnumbered by male CEOs 474 to 26. Social media also increases voter participation. Mr. Speaker, sir, Facebook users reported they are more likely to vote if they see on social networking sites that their friends voted. Crowdsourcing and crowdfunding on social media allows people to collect. A mother was able to find a kidney donor for her sick child by posting a video on her Facebook page. Being a part of social media can increase a person's quality of life and reduce the risk of health problems. Mr. Speaker, sir, pointing out the facts can only go so far. The opposition must also provide solutions or alternatives for the shortcomings that they have mentioned. Let me demonstrate what I mean. Here are the solutions to the problems brought forth by the opposition. First, we have the invasion of our privacy. Our privacy can generally be preserved by being cautious and careful on the internet, a habit which most people tend to ignore, you and me. We must have strong passwords that are not shared, secure wireless network, safe connection, which are very simple and basic stuff. Also, campaigns for preserving social media privacy can be encouraged to the population. And then we have addiction. Such a state can be prevented by preemptive measures such as regulating screen time, balancing screen hour, normal activities. Alternatives can also be provided. outdoor games, exercises, or sports in general. Yes, addiction is very hard to fight, so it is crucial that such practices must be met from a very young age. Mr. Speaker, sir, my dear fellow members of the opposition bench, I bring out the base of points theories. But still, if they don't provide solutions, and in addition to that, are still active participants in social networking sites, then there is a very, very tragic irony. Mr. Speaker, sir, I urge fellow members of the opposition bench, if they are on social media and they are not learning, not laughing, not being inspired, and not networking, then they are using it wrong. Social media is not a media. The key is to listen, engage, and build a relationship. Engage, enlighten, encourage, and especially just be yourself. Social media is a community effort. Everyone is an essay. Mr. Speaker, sir, last but not the least, the boon of social media is enormous. It is the mindset of human beings and fellow members of the opposition bench that destroys such a beautiful and useful platform by wrong deeds. So, with the consent of Speaker, sir, and consent of all the members of the Houses, motion of the House should be passed at all costs. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenneth Atongwa. Last but not the least, we have Kenneth Darius of Shivaji House, and number 4008 will speak against the motion of the House.
First of all, social networking sites must never be considered as a good. This is just like sun should never rise from the west. Very beautiful afternoon, everyone, and all present here today. I myself get the rest of class 10 representing Shivaji House would like to speak against the motion of the House, and that is social networking site is a good. Ladies and gentlemen, do you really think of social networking sites as a good? If yes, I'm sorry, but all of you have been blinded by these so-called social networking sites or other social media. But don't worry, I'm standing here in front of you beautiful people, and I'm going to be enlightening you about all the harms that social networking sites have been causing us. So, first and foremost, we need to understand what these social networking sites are. Social networking sites, or rather social media, are nothing but internet sites in which people share information with one another. And people may ask, with the statement that I just said, people may ask, what is wrong in sharing information with one another? But ladies and gentlemen, it is not only this about social networking sites, but there are deeper meanings than this. Now, as we already know, there are so many different types of people on this planet, but people who take good advantage of the things available around them are very less. And we of course, we humans are very vulnerable to being misled, and here comes social media. So instead of taking out the good advantage from social media, people tend to misuse it. Of course, social media also has its benefits, but hardly 5% of the 7.5 billion people walking on this planet knows how to use the social media for a very good purpose. Mr. Speaker, sir, in my opinion, in order for something to be considered as a good, it needs to be something of a blessing, something that is really helpful, something that will guide the people towards a better good. But I think we don't see any of these features in But I think we don't see any of these features in social media. Social media, in fact, cuts the connection that people have between them. It triggers our feeling of insecurity. Ladies and gentlemen, by seeing all the accomplishments, luxuries, and so on of other people on social media, people tend to compare themselves with these people. They don't know that these people may be fake or not, but they start having a feeling of insecurity. So, thus, social media affects us, our mental health very much. And now, let me give you an example. Mostly it happens to our girls in the country. Now, they used to be obsessed and follow these Instagram models on Instagram. And when they see their pictures, they start having a feeling of insecurity that their body is not that nice as that of the Instagram model. What they don't know is that Instagram models used to, most of them are big, and those who are obviously good, they have gone through much dieting and exercises to obtain that body, that they don't know it. Now, next I'd like to say that social media overloads us with information which is irrelevant in our day-to-day life. It wastes our time unnecessarily, and it also gives our brain a burden. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm not exaggerating this, but the most important demerit of social media is that it is very addictive. Now, let me give you another example. Me and my brothers used to sleep at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in the night, only because of being addicted to this social media. we used to spend our time watching these videos. So please tell me, if social media is that much good to be considered as a boon, I don't think it's that good. Now, even after coming to this school, we seem not to have the ability to keep this social media out. And that's why many of us are still going to this computer lab in order for, in the namesake of learning new things. And now we're trying to log into the Facebook accounts of us and Instagram accounts. This is all because of this being addicted to social media. Now please tell me, if social media can be considered as a boon, I don't think it is. Now, moreover, social media adversely affects the academic performances of students in colleges and schools. This one I've experienced it myself. My brother that I've been talking about, he was a topper in his junior classes. But after coming to senior classes, he has been addicted to the social media. And that's the reason why he has now no interest in his studies. And now his dreams and aspirations, his career has been stolen by these very social media. So the fact that the very social media stole my brother's big dreams will always leave a bend in my heart. And ladies and gentlemen, lastly, I would like to say that with all the harms that social media is causing to us, I don't think it should be considered as good. Now, I'd like to say that the motion of the